The plane shuddered violently as it hit turbulence over the Rockies, and I gripped the armrest so hard my knuckles turned white, whispering a curse under my breath that no one could hear over the roar of the engines. That's when I saw him again, striding down the aisle like he owned the damn sky. His leather jacket slung over one shoulder, eyes locking onto mine with that same unnerving intensity that made my stomach flip. 6 flights in 3 months, and there he was, seat 14B, right across from me, flashing a smile that said he knew exactly what I was thinking. This wasn't fate. It was something darker, something deliberate. I was Ryan Ellis, 28 years old, a marketing exec bouncing between New York and LA like a pinball in a machine that wouldn't quit. My life was a blur of boardrooms, bad coffee, and the kind of exhaustion that settled into your bones. I'd always been the guy who played it safe. Straight-laced ties, one-night stands that never lingered past dawn, and a closet door cracked just enough to let in the occasional breeze but never a full storm. Gay in a world that pretended it didn't notice, or maybe I was the one pretending harder. But him? He crashed through that door like a goddamn hurricane. His name was Alex Harlan, or at least that's what his boarding pass said on that first flight back in August. I'd been nursing a whiskey neat, staring out at the endless black of night over the Midwest, when he dropped into the seat beside me. "Rough day?" he'd asked, voice low and gravelly, like he'd smoked one too many Marlboros in his life. I glanced over, expecting the usual chatty stranger, but his eyes, deep blue, almost black in the dim cabin light, held mine like a vice. He was tall, built like he spent weekends hiking the Appalachians or punching bags in some underground gym, with a fade haircut that screamed ex-military and a tattoo peeking from his cuff that looked like barbed wire wrapped around a compass rose. We talked for hours that night, or rather, he talked and I listened, mesmerized. He was a freelance photographer, chasing stories from Seattle to Miami, the kind of guy who lived out of a duffel bag and a Nikon. Stories spilled from him like rain, capturing protests in D.C., sunsets over the Grand Canyon that made you believe in God again. I told him about my soul-sucking job, the promotion that felt like a noose, the ex-boyfriend who'd ghosted me after I came out to my folks in Ohio. "Small steps, Ryan," he'd said, clapping a hand on my shoulder that lingered just a second too long, sending sparks up my arm. "The world's bigger than their backyard barbecue judgments." By the time we landed in LAX, I had his number scrawled on a napkin, and a stupid grin I couldn't shake. But life pulled me back. Meetings, deadlines, the grind. I texted him once, a lame, "safe travels?" That went unanswered. Figured it was just airplane magic, the kind that evaporates on solid ground. Then, 2 weeks later, Chicago O'Hare to JFK. I'm at the gate, scrolling emails when I feel that prickle on my neck. There he is, coffee in hand, nodding like we planned this. "Fancy meeting you here," he says, sliding into the row beside me as boarding starts. Coincidence? Maybe. But his knee brushes mine under the tray table, and neither of us moves away. We laugh about it, turbulence as foreplay, mile-high philosophies. He shares a photo on his phone. A black and white shot of lovers kissing in the rain on some Brooklyn street. Raw and unfiltered. "That's what I chase," he says. "The real shit." My heart thuds. By descent, I'm spilling secrets I haven't told my therapist. The fear of being alone, the ache for something that sticks. Flight 3. Denver to Dallas. A red-eye that leaves me hollow-eyed and wired on adrenaline. He's there again, this time with a book in his lap. Kerouac's on the road, dog-eared and underlined. "You stalking me, Harlan?" I joke, but my voice cracks. He grins, all teeth and trouble. "Nah, just following the wind. That flight, we don't talk much." Instead, his hand finds mine in the dark, thumb tracing circles on my palm until the captain announces wheels down. It's electric, forbidden in the best way. The flight attendant too rose up oblivious, the world 30,000 feet below. We part with a hug that turns into something else, his breath hot against my ear. "Next time, Ryan. Promise." I start noticing patterns. My routes, NYCLA, with stops in hubs like Denver and Chicago, line up with his shoots. But 6 flights? The odds were astronomical. I run the numbers on my phone calculator one night, buzzed on craft beer in my Astoria apartment. Less than 1 in a million. Not coincidence. Stalking? The word sours in my mouth. No, this felt like destiny with teeth. Flight 4 hits like a gut punch. Atlanta to Seattle, me upgraded to first class on points I'd hoarded like a miser. He's in 2A, across the aisle, sipping champagne like it's water. Miss me? He teases, and I do, God, I do. We steal glances, whispers over bad airline wine. He tells me about his childhood in rural Montana, a dad who called him soft for sketching instead of hunting, a mom who baked pies and prayed away the rainbows she suspected in his eyes. Coming out was like jumping off a cliff, he says. Scary as hell, but the freefall? Worth it. I nod, throat tight, because my own coming out was a whisper in a therapist's office, not a roar. That night, in a Seattle hotel bar overlooking Puget Sound, we finally crossed the line. His lips taste like salt and possibility, hands rough from camera straps pulling me close in a booth that smells of leather and regret. It's messy, urgent. Fingers fumbling buttons, breaths ragged against skin. I've wanted this since Chicago, he murmurs, and I believe him. We tumble into my room, bodies tangling like we'd been rehearsing for years. It's not just sex. It's confession, absolution. He traces my scars, the emotional ones, the faded ones from a dumb skateboarding wipeout at 16, with lips that promise healing. I fall asleep with his heartbeat under my cheek, the city lights flickering like distant stars. But dawn brings doubt. His phone buzzes incessantly. Texts from Jay that he silences with a sigh. Work, he mutters, but his eyes dodge mine. I push it down, chalk it up to paranoia. We're good, right? Real. Flight 5. Back east, Boston Logan to San Francisco Airport. I'm jittery, replaying Seattle in loops that make me blush at customs. He's late to board, slipping in with rumpled clothes and a 5 o'clock shadow that makes him look like sin. Rough shoot, he explains, collapsing beside me. We talk dreams. Me wanting to quit the corporate cage, him chasing a book deal on America's Forgotten Queers. His hand on my thigh under the blanket feels like home. But midway over the plains, he gets a call, voice dropping low. Yeah, I'll handle it. Just give me time. He hangs up, face stormy, and when I ask, he snaps. It's nothing. Drop it. The cabin feels smaller, the air thicker. Silence stretches like a wound. By landing, the sparks dim to embers. He kisses my forehead at baggage claim, chaste, brotherly, and vanishes into the crowd. My texts bounce unread for days. Panic claws at me. Is this it? The high wears off, leaving me raw. Then, Flight 6, LAX to JFK, the mother of all cross-country hauls. I'm a wreck. Sleepless, snapping at colleagues, staring at my reflection like it's a stranger. Why him? Why now? The plane fills, and my heart sinks when his seat stays empty. I bury myself in a script, some rom-com pitch I'm half-assing. Turbulence hits over Kansas, jolting me back. And there, weaving through the galley, is Alex. Not in his usual row, but hovering, eyes wild. Ryan, he says, voice breaking like glass. The flight attendant shoots him a look, but he ignores it, dropping to a crouch beside me. We need to talk. Now. His words hang in the recycled air, thick with the scent of reheated meals and desperation. I stare at him, pulse hammering in my ears, the plane dipping like my stomach. Alex, what the hell? You're not even seated. The attendant clears her throat, but he waves her off with a charm offensive that buys us 5 minutes to the lavatory line. We lock ourselves in the tiny bathroom, the hum of engines masking our whispers. His hands are on me immediately. Not gentle, not lover-like, but gripping my arms like I'm his lifeline. I should have told you sooner, he starts, eyes glistening under the harsh fluorescent. That Jay in Seattle? It's Jordan. My husband. The word lands like a sucker punch, stealing my breath. Husband. The pieces shatter. The dodged calls, the late boards, the electric pull laced with guilt. You're married. My voice is a rasp, betrayal blooming hot in my chest. To a guy? And you what? Pick up strays on planes. He flinches but doesn't let go. It's not like that. Jordan and I. We met in the army, deployed to Kandahar. He saved my life once. Took a bullet meant for me in a market blast. I owe him everything. But love? That's been dead for years. He's back in D.C., buried in VA paperwork. And I'm chasing ghosts. His thumb brushes my cheek, wiping a tear I didn't know fell. You, Ryan. You're the first real thing I've felt since the desert. I shove him back, the sink digging into my spine. Real? You fed me lines about freefall and rainbows while lying through your teeth. 6 flights. Alex. 6. You planned this. Stalked my schedule like some creepy rom-com villain. My mind reels. Had he hacked my work calendar? Bribed gate agents? The romance curdles into something toxic, my skin crawling where he'd touched. He slumps against the door, head in hands. Not stalked. Synced. I saw your pattern on that first flight, your company's jet set bullshit. I adjusted. Freelance means I go where the light is. And you? You're the goddamn Northern Star. A bitter laugh escapes him. Pathetic, right? A 32-year-old man playing airline tag because he's too chicken shit to end a marriage that's just paperwork and pity. The plane banks, and so does my world. I want to hate him, God, I do. But his vulnerability cracks me open. The boy from Montana. The soldier with scars under his ink. The artist who sees souls through lenses. Why me? I whisper, hating the need in my voice. Because you look at me like I'm whole, he says simply. Not broken. We emerge to glares and murmurs, him slinking back to a jump seat he'd sweet-talked. The rest of the flight is agony. Stolen glances, my heart a war zone. I replay every moment. The palm traces, the Seattle sheets, the promises whispered in the dark. Betrayal stings, but beneath it, a deeper ache. For connection in a life of layovers. JFK looms, a concrete jungle swallowing secrets. He waits at arrivals, duffel slung low, face etched with resolve. Come with me, he says, not a question. Against every screaming instinct, I do. We cab to his Airbnb in Williamsburg, a loft with exposed brick and photos pinned like confessions. Queer icons, dusty boots from boot camp, a faded pride flag from '08. Over cheap Thai takeout, he unravels. Jordan's PTSD, their sexless years, the divorce papers he drafted but shredded twice. I love him like a brother. Alex admits, voice raw. But you? I could love you like a man loves a man. I pace, torn between bolting and begging. This isn't a movie, Alex. You can't just drop a bomb and expect to fade to black. Tears hot on my cheeks. I trusted you. Opened up. And now? I'm the side piece in your midlife crisis. He pulls me down, forehead to forehead. No sides. Just us, if you'll have it. His kiss is apology, fierce and fracturing. We make love on the floor amid scattered prints, slow, searching, like mapping uncharted skies. It's catharsis, body speaking what words can't. Forgiveness teetering on the edge. But dawn brings Jordan's call again. Alex answers this time, speaker on, voice steady. I'm done, Jay. For real this time. The line goes dead, a finality that echoes. Relief floods me, tentative like first light after storm. Weeks blur into a fragile rhythm. Texts evolve to calls, calls to weekends, him in my Astoria walk-up, me tagging along on his Philly shoots. We navigate the mess. Therapy sessions where I unpack my trust issues, his lawyer meetings that drag like tar. It's dramatic, this love. Fights over nothing that explode into everything. Make-up sex that leaves bruises and bliss. He gifts me a camera, teaches me to frame the world differently. The curve of his neck in morning light, the laugh lines around his eyes when he thinks no one's watching. Yet conflict simmers. My job demands more, cross-country pitches, Tokyo layovers, and jealousy creeps in. Who's the guy in that group chat? I snap one night, scrolling his phone like a jealous teen. He laughs it off, but the seed's planted. Humanistic, they call it. Flawed people fumbling toward grace. We're that. Two queers piecing a mosaic from shards. The climax crashes in October, under a blood moon over the Hudson. I'm in D.C. for a client schmooze, nerves frayed from a presentation that bombed harder than Enron. Alex surprises me. Shows up at my hotel with roses and that grin, the one that still unravels me. Thought you could use a night, he says, pulling me into a lobby kiss that draws whistles from bellhops. We escape to a dive bar in DuPont Circle, all sticky floors and drag queens slinging shots. It's perfect, his hand in mine under the table, stories of his latest gig in the Smokies. My head on his shoulder as we sway to some indie cover of Wicked Game. But perfection's a lie we tell ourselves. Halfway through last call, my phone lights up. A text from an unknown number. Ask your boyfriend about the cabin in Aspen. Curiosity bites. I click the link. Photos load grainy, time-stamped last winter. Alex and Jordan, tangled in flannel sheets, lips locked in a firelit glow. My vision tunnels, the bar spinning. Betrayal, round 2, sharper than the first. I confront him outside, rain slicking the streets like oil. Aspen, last fucking winter, while you were adjusting schedules to chase me. The photos tremble in my hand, phone screen glowing accusatory. His face crumples, rain mingling with regret. Ryan, wait. It's not. But it is. Stammers turn to truths. A relapse during a final weekend to sign papers. Bourbon-fueled weakness after Jordan's latest breakdown. One night, he pleads. One mistake. I swear. I've burned every bridge since. Rage boils over, humanistic illusions shattering. Mistake? You call that a mistake? While I'm spilling my guts on planes, you're playing house with your ghost. I shove him, chest heaving, tears lost in the downpour. Voices echo from the bar door. Concerned stares. But this is our storm. I thought we were building something real. But you're just addicted to the drama, the chase. He grabs my wrist, eyes wild. No, you woke me up, Ryan. Jordan's the past, comfort food gone stale. You're the future, the one that scares me shitless because it's real. But words ring hollow now, echoes of Seattle lies. I wrench free, hailing a cab that swallows me whole, leaving him soaked and shouting my name into the night. The flight home is purgatory, empty seat beside me mocking our history. I ghost him for days, barricaded in my apartment with Ben and Jerry's and bad Netflix. Friends rally. My roommate Theo, a theater kid with a heart bigger than Broadway, stages an intervention over pizza. Babe, love's not a layover. It's the whole damn route. But this? Red flags waving like a parade. My sister Claire calls from Cleveland, voice thick with that Midwestern worry. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't come with footnotes. Doubt wars with desire. I stalk his Insta, photos of empty horizons, captions cryptic as haikus. A week in, he shows up at my door, gaunt and unshaven, a manila envelope in hand. Divorce is final, he says, thrusting it forward like absolution. Papers stamped, signatures inked, Jordan's blessing included. A note scrawled, let him fly. We both deserve wings. I let him in, not forgiveness, but fatigue. We sit on the fire escape. City lights a constellation below, and he weeps. Ugly, snotty sobs that strip him bare. I fucked up. Aspen was goodbye gone wrong. But you're the only hello that stuck. Vulnerability disarms. I see the boy again, the soldier, the artist clawing for light. We talk till dawn, raw, unfiltered. My fears. Abandonment's shadow from Dad's early grave. Mom's Bible thump denial. The guilt of surviving war. Loving wrong in a world that tallies casualties. It's emotional excavation, dirt under nails, but necessary. No more secrets, I demand. He nods, sealing it with a pinky swear that dissolves into a kiss. Tentative, rebuilding. Romance reignites, slower now, tempered by fire. We date like normals. Central Park picnics, his lens capturing my laugh. My marketing brain pitching his photo book to indie presses. Conflict lingers, trust a fragile bridge, but we cross it hand in hand. Therapy joint sessions where we learn each other's languages. His quiet withdrawals mean fear, not flight. My sarcasm's armor, not attack. Thanksgiving looms, a test. I fly home to Ohio, nerves knotted. Mom's kitchen smells of turkey and tension. Dad's ghost in every empty chair. I come out fully this time. Not whisper, but roar, Ma, I'm gay. And happy. With a man who sees me. She freezes, apron dusted in flour. Then envelopes me in a hug that smells of lavender and letting go. As long as he treats you right, baby. Progress, humanistic and hard one. Alex joins for Christmas in Montana, his turf, barbed wire and all. His folks are stoic ranchers, suspicion in their eyes, but he stands tall. This is Ryan, my partner. Awkward toasts over venison, but a quiet nod from his dad later. He smiles more now, heals old riffs. By New Year's, we're in Times Square, confetti raining like blessings. No grand gestures, just us. His arm around my waist, my head on his shoulder as the ball drops. To us, he murmurs. No more flights of fancy, just this. Spring thaws the last frosts, and with it, our rhythm solidifies. Alex's book deal lands, a gritty tome on queer resilience across flyover states. My pitches sealing the ink. We move in together, a Bushwick brownstone with skylights for his darkroom and a corner office for my laptop. Mornings are coffee and croissants, his lips brushing my temple as I type proposals. Evenings, tangled on the couch to the L-word marathons, debating plot holes like critics. But life, that great equalizer, tests us still. My company's downsizing, layoffs whisper like ghosts, and I'm on the chopping block, anxiety a constant hum. Alex sees it, pulls strings with a journalist buddy for freelance gigs. You're more than their spreadsheets, he says, framing a shot of me at my desk, fierce and focused. It bolsters this partnership, equal parts cheerleader and anchor. His demons resurface too. A gallery show in Chelsea triggers old doubts. Jordan's shadow lingers in a congratulatory email that sours the afterparty. We fight, me accusing paranoia, him snapping about space, but end in bed, apologies etched in skin. We're human, I remind him, tracing his tattoo. Flawed as fuck, but fighting. The humanistic core emerges in small graces. Volunteering at a queer youth center in the village, where Alex teaches photography to kids with stories heavier than their backpacks. I facilitate workshops on self-advocacy, watching a shy teen bloom under his lens. One night, a boy named Kai, 16, freshly out, eyes haunted, asks, "How do you know it's real?" Alex glances at me, hand finding mine. When it hurts as much as it heals. When you'd cross oceans or skies for it. Summer brings the road trip we dreamed. Route 66 in a rented Mustang, chasing sunsets from Chicago to Santa Monica. We bicker over maps, make love in motel rooms with neon buzz, capture each other unposed, him laughing at a Grand Canyon overlook, me silhouetted against Pacific waves. It's romantic, this odyssey, not flawless, but forged in fire. Betrayal's scar fades to silver, a reminder. Love isn't absence of pain, but presence through it. We toast at journey's end, feet in the surf, salt on our lips. 6 flights to forever, Alex quips. I laugh, pulling him close. Make it 7. Back in Brooklyn, normalcy wraps us like a well-worn quilt. I land a gig at a boutique agency, flexible hours for his travels. He dedicates his book to R, who grounded my wanderlust. Mom visits, eyes widening at our framed pride shots, but she brings apple pie and stories of her own hidden wild youth. A college fling with a painter in Paris. Love's a risk, son, worth every mile. Claire's wedding in July seals it. Me as best man, Alex as +1 who charms the Rust Belt relatives. Vows exchanged under Ohio Oak's echo are unspoken ones. Through turbulence and tailwinds, we'd navigate. Climax echoes in quiet moments now, not drama, but depth. One autumn eve, as leaves blaze in Prospect Park, he drops to one knee. Not with a ring, but a vintage compass. You steered me home, Ryan. Marry me? Not for papers, but promise. Tears blur the engraving, true north, and I yes him fiercely, our kiss a vow amid falling gold. Years fold forward. A small ceremony in the Smokies, Jordan is witness with a rye toast. Adoptions talked in whispers, a future family sketched in starlight. We're not fairy tale, no dragon slain, just daily devotions. But in the humanism of it, flaws embraced, wounds woven into strength, we find grace. And those 6 flights? Hindsight's gift. Not coincidence, but collision course. He appeared and I awoke. In the end, love's the ultimate layover, eternal if you dare to deplane.